Two episodes ago, I said the product lifecycle is the operating system of your company. Then I showed you the digital thread making the links between stages explicit. Good in theory, but theory doesn't survive Monday morning. So today, we get our hands dirty. I'm going to take a fictional hardware startup, hand a pile of its messy documents to an AI agent, and build a first draft lifecycle map. Live, on screen, in under an hour of work compressed into this episode. And just as importantly, I'll show you exactly where I stop trusting the agent and start making decisions myself. Because that line is the whole point.
Digital transformation time. Digital transformation time.
Meet our company. Let's call it Victra, a fictional startup building electric drone delivery hardware. 40 people, growing fast, pre-certification. Their reality is the reality of almost every deep tech company at this stage. Requirements live in a mix of spreadsheets, slide desks, and email threads. Design data sits in CAD and shared drive. Changes happen in meetings. Nobody can point to a single picture of how the product actually moves from idea to build. That's not incompetence. That's just what fast growth looks like before anyone designs the operating model. Our job today: turn that mess into a first draft lifecycle map that can actually govern. Before the demo, one warning, because this is where people misuse AI. The wrong way is to type build me a product lifecycle and accept whatever comes out. You'll get something that looks impressive, uses all the right words, but doesn't match your company at all. Remember from Module 0, a generated artifact that looks complete and is hollow is the most dangerous thing in regulated work. So we're not going to ask the agent to invent a life cycle. We're going to make it extract the life cycle that's already hidden in the company's real documents. And then we verify every link. The agent reads and drafts, we decide and confirm. Here's our document pile for Vectra. A requirements spreadsheet, a couple of design specs, an email thread where change was approved, and fragment of bill of materials. Deliberately messy, like real life. My first prompt to the agent is not design a life cycle. It's narrow and honest. Read these documents, identify every distinct stage the product passes through, and list what evidence each document represents: a requirement, a change, an approval, a baseline. I'm asking it to map the territory, not invent it. Look at what came back. It pulled out stages: concept, requirements, design, a change event, the start of a build definition, and it tagged each document. That alone, in a couple of minutes, is something Vectra has never had: a single inventory of what exists and where it sits in the life cycle. But, and this matters, I haven't believed any of it yet. This is a draft to interrogate, not an answer to accept. Now, the move that actually matters, and it's straight out of episode 1.2. I'm going to ask the agent to find the broken links. Prompt: for each requirement, show me whether there is a design that traces to it, whether any changes affect it, and whether an approval is recorded. Flag anything that's referenced but missing. This is the digital thread test ran by a machine across the whole pile in seconds. And there it is. The agent found that a change in the email thread modifies a requirement, but that requirement spec was never updated. It found the baseline referenced in the BOM that doesn't exist in any document we gave it. These are exactly the broken links I talked about in episode 1.2, the ones that passes unnoticed until an auditor or a second site asks. Vectra didn't know these gaps existed. In minutes, they're visible. There is the real value of an agent here, not building your operating model, but exposing where it's currently lying to you. Now, I stop the agent, because what comes next is judgment, and judgment isn't its job. The agent flagged a missing baseline. It cannot tell me whether there is a real problem or just a document we didn't upload. Only a human who knows the company can decide that. The agent proposed a six-stage structure, but maybe vector certification path means verification and validation must be split into two governed stages, not one. The agent doesn't know vectors regulator. I do. So I make three kinds of decisions the agent can't. What's actually missing versus just not uploaded, which links are mandatory versus nice to have, and who owns each one going forward. The agent gave me a draft in minutes that would have taken a consultant weeks, but the operating model is mine to decide. With those decisions made, I give the agent one more directed task. Produce a lifecycle map with these confirmed stages, mark each link as verified, missing, or to be owned, and generate a short action list of the gaps a human must close. Notice the prompt now carries my decisions. I'm not asking it to think, I'm asking it to assemble what I've governed. And here is the result. A first draft lifecycle map of Victra. Stages confirmed, broken links flagged in red, and owner to be assigned for each. A punch list of what to fix. This is something Victra can take into a governance meeting on Monday. Not a finished operating model, but a true starting point built in an afternoon instead of a quarter. Step back and notice the method, because it transfers to your company directly. We didn't ask AI to invent an operating model. We did four things. We fed it the real messy documents. We made it inventory what exists. We ran the digital thread test to expose broken links. And then a human, you, governed the result. That sequence works whether you're 40 people or 400. The tool changes, the method doesn't. Extract, don't invent. Expose, then govern. That's how a small team now does what used to need a department. That closes Module 1. You now have the lens. The product lifecycle is your operating system. Digital thread that connects it and practical way to map your own. With an agent doing the heavy lifting and you holding the judgment. But a map exposes the gaps, it doesn't close them. The biggest gap in almost every deep tech company is the same one: requirements and change control. That's Module 2, and it's where this stops being a map and becomes real control. I'll see you there. Recap: you can take a pile of messy documents and with an AI agent produce a first draft lifecycle map in an afternoon, as long as you extract instead of invent and govern instead of trust. The agent exposes where your operating model is failing. You decide what to do about it. If this turned the last two episodes into something you can actually do, subscribe and come into Module 2. And in the comments, if you ran this on your own company's documents tonight, which broken link are you most afraid of the agent would find? Be honest. That fear is usually pointing at the right place to start.
Digital transformation time. Digital transformation time.